In this section, I just want to show you a few dynamic drumming techniques, things that you can use around the kit to get different tonal qualities and different volumes and just a overall kind of dynamic feel around the kit. And the first one is the cross stick. Basically what that is just resting the stick on the head of the snare drum. I'm just going to keep this with regards to the snare drum. We can obviously move this to different drums if you're adventurous enough, but 90% of the time you'll be using this on the snare drum. So basically what it is just resting the stick on the head and keeping the butt end of the stick on the skin, and muting the head with your hand, kind of resting on the drum. There are obviously different ways of playing this. You can use a little bit of muting, maybe just use your fingers or use your whole hand, your whole palm. You can lift the stick up if you want to get a different vibe, to get kind of a flam shot if you really want to, but this is just the essence of the cross stick, and this is what it sounds like, the basic generic cross stick. I think it would be wise and creative to start messing around with that and kind of moving it around the drum, seeing what kind of different sounds you can extract from this technique. Like I said, tampering a little bit with the dampening or the muting of the head, pushing the stick out, bringing it back in. All of those things will change the sound. The cool thing about drums for me is that they don't have one note. Like it almost feels like they have like an infinite amount of notes. So the more creatively you move it around the snare drum, the more the notes will change, and it just gives you a wider palette of samples that you can use when playing grooves and things. So I'll just move it around a little bit so you can see how the sound changes when using the same technique, just applying it a little bit differently on the same drum. So it's just small changes, lifting my fingers up, moving it out a bit, moving it in a bit. Everything changes the sound, dynamically especially. Obviously you can tamper with hitting really hard or hitting really soft. So many things you can do to change the sound dynamically. So now I'll just use this technique inside of a groove and see if I can't illustrate the dynamic effect of dropping down from like a full snare beat down into the cross stick beat. And like I said, there are no rules. You can use this just like you want to use it. If you're able to play double strokes with the cross stick, you can even do that. Anything that you want to use it for, just use that sample to kind of alter the groove dynamically. But this is just an example of how I would use that.